we don't use it, we don't use it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good morning, guys. We were having this little chat, got a little bit carried away. It was awesome. So yeah. So go ahead. Go ahead, Brady.
Yeah. So Potato was asking about the branding and the Octo Content Model. The Octo Content Model will direct you to build a brand, which you have, but it explains of how to get massive reach and exposure by reaching all different platforms. So when you shoot a video, you're out on your ranch, you're maybe placing patches on your horses, and you're shooting a video doing that, then you break that video down, you make your picture post, your podcast, strip the sound out of it, make a podcast, have your video, set it up in your stories, and shoot it out to all platforms all at once, which is the manual process. But once you get good at it, you can knock it down to a pretty short period of time, actually. But that's what's going to build your brand, is getting more exposure, rather than just have your website sit out there on the web waiting for people to see it. You're shooting it out to all the platforms, and people are going back to your website.
Well, this Tevis Cup is the 100-mile one-day race, on horseback. It starts up at Lake Tahoe and ends up here in Auburn. And that's been around since 1955. And people from all over the world, if you ride the Tevis Cup, you get a buckle. I should show you the buckle. I've got a bunch of them. And it's called Get the Buckle. Let me get one.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 100%, Brady. Yeah, it's about creating one piece of content and then getting it out there on all platforms, audio, video. And I've been starting to do that a little bit. I find 8 a lot to handle. I'm trying to deal with
it. And the more I'm following, Fraser Brooks, and then now I'm watching this Eric Worre, the 7-day challenge, and I'm redoing each of these videos so that I can use them as training. I wouldn't pump that out telling everybody to have it, because of course it's copyrighted, but the information within. And once you start using that with Octo content, like stories is a big thing now. Well, rather than doing a story on Instagram, you've already got it set that dimension, spread it across, send it out to LinkedIn and YouTube, or not YouTube, YouTube has stories now. I haven't used it. But all the other platforms that have that dimension, and put it on all platforms, and always hashtag it back to your main site.
Your main website. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because you've gone to all the effort to make the piece of content, you might as well get it out there as many places as you can. Which I kind of slowed down on. I haven't even looked at my website in probably a month. Right. Yeah, it is a process that you got to do, and it's good to be consistent too. Constantly posted. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Wow.
So this is my work buckle. If you finish it one day in 24 hours, you get a buckle that says like this.
Wow.
And if you do it 10 years,
Beautiful.
after 10 years, if you do it 10 times, that's the 1,000-mile buckle that I'm wearing. And if you do it 20 times, you get a 2,000-mile buckle.
Wow.
Holy crap.
Hold it up a bit closer. Oh yeah, that is awesome. 20,000 miles.
This one is gold. When the founder of the company of the ride got his 1,000-mile buckle, he got it in gold. And I said, Wendell, I want one of those when I get my 1,000-mile buckle. And he said, well, Potato, start saving your money, because gold is gold. So when I got my 2,000-mile buckle, I thought, here it's upside down. I thought, you know what? I want that in gold. So I got it in gold. And and there's 2 people that have a 3,000-mile buckle. They've finished it. The one girl, she's finished it 34 times. That's amazing. And my goal is to do it 40 times. I'm only right now, I'm at 22.
And they do it once a year?
Once a year, and only 50% of the people finish, because it's a tough race, and the average is around 50%. My average is a little over 70%, and I've won it several times. And when I won it last year was 2015, I won it. And according to Google Analytics, there were over 2 million people clicking on to watch the site. It's a 24-hour race, of course. Of course, I finished it in 12 and a half hours. But there are over 2 million people worldwide watching that race. And that's not really true. There are 2 million views.
Right.
So a person could watch it 4 or 5 times in the same computer. So
You need to piggyback your brand off of that.
Yeah.
Get them to come back to your website.
100%.
I've had people. I have taken people on this race from all over the world, from Brazil and China, Africa, of course, all the European countries, and no one else has done that like I have. And when I do my boot camp, the people come to take that. The last one was a Chinese guy. In New Zealand was a disaster. She couldn't ride right, and I have to teach them how to ride. And sometimes you assume that they know how to ride. If they pay me, as much as $15,000 for the weekend, and you assume that if they're spending that kind of money, they know what they're doing. Well, I had 6 guys come from Sao Paulo, Brazil one time, and I tell you what, I thought one guy was going to take a knife to me because it was interesting.
You told me you didn't know how to ride?
Well, you didn't. No, it was different.
Okay.
They all know how to ride, but these guys ride. Like one guy, his name is Roberto from Sao Paulo. The first time he was here, he's in my barnyard, and he says, and we're standing there. I had a friend from Germany with me, the 3 of us. He says, Potato, at home, he says, I have a stable and I have a many horses. And when I want to ride, my worker brings me the horse, hands me the horse, and I go ride. And when I get back, I get off the horse, he hands me my cocktail or whatever I want. And I said, well, Roberto, welcome to Slagermine Ranch. And I pointed up on the hill there, and Tomas was with me, my German friend, the 3 of us. I pointed up on the hill. I said, see that gray horse up there? It was probably 200 meters away. He says, yeah. I says, that's your horse, and the halter's on the barn here. Go get it.
I rode one time in my life, probably no more than 5 miles, and I was laid up for a week. So now I stick to steel horses only.
Yeah. I put my horse on a plane and took it to Abu Dhabi a few years back.
Wow, on a plane.
Yeah. Oh, I've done that many times.
Really? A horse on a plane? I never even thought about that.
Oh,
wow.
yeah.
I heard a space on a plane.
I had one time, I had 12 horses. I took 12 horses at the same time on an airplane. We flew out of San Francisco to Liechtenstein. And on that flip, that was just a cargo plane. Many times we're on a combination, half cargo and half passengers. And someone has to be there, a horse person has to be on the plane. And I went back and on the cargo plane, it was a 747. The bubble in front was where 4 or 5 of us sat, and we got premier treatment. And the whole plane was cargo. It was really fun. Just because I was bored, I started roaming around in the cargo area. That's a lot of stuff back there. It was interesting. Another time, I laid down in a hallway in the cargo area. I took out a sleeping bag I had packed, and I used a saddle for a headrest. And the stewardesses were bringing me wine because it was November. It was the.
So have you gotten the AcuPoint? Well, I forgot the name of those patches.
Patch for horses, yeah.
Have you got those, Potato?
From LifeWave?
Yeah.
No.
I was just curious if you had tried those on your horses, because if
Yeah,
if you did that and you shot a video and you can find a spot just like that guy did in his video, and you shot a little video and said, hey, here's pain, here's a patch, no pain. Within 2 minutes, the people in the horse business, you would explode.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a little, the problem I have with that was, like I was telling Don, when you take the patch off, the pain comes back.
Right.
Well, let me tell you something. This 100-mile race, it's 5 a.m. to 5 a.m. Sunday morning, and then so it's 24 hours. Most people, anyway, they have a top 10 conditioning where they check out the horses. Hold on, let me check that. That's my
If Sven gets back
friend
to
of mine,
me,
France.
if
Hold on.
Sven gets back to me, I'm going to ask him about that, how long you use them on the horses, and
Right.
find out.
Yeah, and Potato brought up the point that,
Almost a lot, sir.
yeah, I'm just gonna put you on mute there. He brought up the point that if, I'll put you on mute, Potato, so just unmute yourself when you're ready. Is that the patches may fall off on a horse. And so, yeah, what if the pain goes away after you take it off? So then you want it to help the pain all the time. So I guess I don't know much about that patch in horses, but it'd be worth finding out. But yeah, if you could put it on for 12 hours. Oh yeah, just unmute yourself again, Potato. I don't think I can do it.
Yeah, if we can find out that it does last longer, that would help out, or how much pain it is supposed to take away. If you want to use it for steeple chases, or very active horses, or if it's only used after the fact while the horse is standing in the barn eating, and that's when you want to get rid of the pain for the horse, and find out exactly when you're supposed to use this.
Yeah.
But I'll ask him. If he answers back, I'll ask
for
him.
a 24-hour issue, you could probably leave it on, or if it falls off, put it on again for, keep it
Yeah,
on
it's
there
like
all
any of the other patches. It's going to wear out after a period of time.
Well, I have a friend in Idaho. No, now he's moved to Washington. This guy's a chiropractor. He can poke a horse in a certain spot, and if the horse reacts, he'll know if that's the liver or another spot. It's another part of the horse. It's amazing the way he does that. And he can take right down near the navel. If he pokes there and the horse reacts, it's got worms. And he'll take the ivermectin and he'll hold it near the horse, and he'll poke it again. If the horse doesn't react, he'll say the ivermectin will kill the worms. And he tries another medicine and holds that, and if it doesn't react, he says that doesn't help for the worms. So it's amazing to watch him. This guy's, it's magic.
That's the guy you want to show the AcuLife to.
Yeah, really get him to try these patches and see what he's
have him try it, man. If you had somebody like that sees all kinds of horse people all the time,
right away.
God.
Yeah, but the fact that it takes the pain away, but then when you take the patch off, the pain returns, is kind of it's like a Band-Aid, in other words. So that,
well, that's all the pain patch is for people also. I mean, you use it to reduce pain, not get rid of the main issue. Now, X39 could get rid of the main issue over a period of time, but in between, you want to use something to subdue the pain a little bit.
So there's another question. Can you use the X39 on horses?
Yes, you can.
And
you can use X39 on animals.
Yeah, they used it in that example on the video that you put it on, it disappears the pain, take it off and it comes back. But my thinking is that if you use it over time, it's gonna help.
Well, there are videos out there with people using them on their pets, cats and dogs. So X39 does work, and the pain patch does work.
Well, I have a stallion out here. I can see him out my front window, and he's just turned 24 years of age. He's got ring bone, and I know that ring bone, that's not going to help for ring bone, because he's lame. And as a matter of fact, right out here where I'm looking, when his mother laid down, the mare laid down to have the baby, normally they lay down and lift her leg and it shoots out, right? He didn't come out, so she got up and laid down on her other side. He didn't come out. She walked around a bit, walked up to the fence, spread her legs, and he came out while she was standing up. And so I went out with my arms and I picked him. I grabbed him before he hit the ground and carried him down to the barn. That was cool. I mean, that's connecting with your horse. That was 24 years and 2 months ago, right out here in my front window.
Is that old for a horse?
Huh?
Is that old for a horse?
No, I've got 2 mares buried out in my pasture. They were 32 and 34. That's getting up there. When they're 30 years of age, they're pretty much old. And both of those horses are world famous. And I got 2 more down there that are world famous because they've won this 100-mile ride.
Well, the X39, if used, it's made to reverse age because it's building your stem cells back to the normal state and activating whatever stem cells are there. And it works on any organic animal, humans, pets, horses.
A mammal.
No, it's just like you or I mean, we're a bit older. We can wear the X39 and yes, it'll make you feel better. It'll start reversing age. But when you get a point in time in your life where nothing is going to make you a baby again, but it may make you feel better, give you a better quality of life for the few years you have left.
It works on the telomeres.
Yes.
Well, it does, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and I had studied all that. I was in a company a few years ago, Solera. I don't know if you know that one, Don, but it's a liquid that you drink, and it works on your adrenal glands. So I started studying all that. So yeah, I know about telomeres and what happens. The ends break off, and then that's what causes aging. So the X39 does keep your telomeres from breaking off and will make them start regrowing also. And it'll do the same thing to animals.
I'm a test for my horse.
Now,
Yeah,
you're not going to get,
I would test.
yeah, you're not going to get a result on your horses in a matter of days, but I would think if you put it on a horse, probably back on his rump area, on the tailbone part, and do that every day for the next month, you may see a difference. You might get up and start moving around a little better, and you're going, wow, the only thing I changed was putting X39 on him.
I've got a mare who's incredible. I bred my stallion to one of my mares who won the Davis Cup, and when she we over at UC Davis, we bred her, and then immediately, I think 8 hours later, we took out the fertilized egg. We captured the egg, flushed it out of her, and I put it in and I carried it over to the coast and put that egg into another mare so that she could carry the baby. So it was embryo transplant. And that baby, I call her Filante. She's out of Fifi Dior, so she's Filante Dior, a French name, Filante Dior, a golden girl. And she has on her back, right here, her hips, one is a little higher than the other. And so when she gets tired, she interferes and starts cutting her hock, her leg. I think I might try this X39 right on that tailbone. Because you can see, if you look at her, you can see the difference. You can see the difference in one side is higher than the other. And by God, yeah, I'm gonna think about that. What I'll do though, I will shave the hair off and then get right to the skin.
Well, when you do that, also, you can use X39 over a bandage or a gauze wrap. And it'll do the same thing. It will stick to that. So if you wrap the gauze around the rear end, if that would stay in place, you can put the X39 on top of that, and it'll do the same thing.
No, it
might even work. It works through clothing, so it might work through a belt or I don't know about.
I don't know about a heavy belt, but something thin a piece of cloth, it'll still work.
Well, I'm thinking of shaving it so it can stick.
Yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
I can use tape,
Cool.
medical tape.
Okay, we got 2 minutes left, our 2-minute warning. Awesome, but that was an awesome conversation. If you put your URL in the, are you in the LoveBoat chat, Taylor?
Yeah, I don't
No,
think
I'm
you
not-
are, because I tagged him and it didn't show
Okay.
up.
Yeah, I got your email address. You sent it to me. If you could send me your website if you want, then we can share it with the group. It's
For
awesome.
LifeWave.
Yeah,
Just,
LifeWave group. Yeah.
Just go, well, to see his website, just type in potatorichardson.com. It'll come up.
Yeah, well, you can Google, if you Google me, you'll get a lot of videos.
Okay, cool. Okay, I'll do that. And just so I include it.
So do you do that website yourself, or do you have somebody running that for you?
It's an interesting guy from India came to stay in my Airbnb, him and his wife. And they're like they're 30 years of age, and they're here working on the visas as they're specialists in electronics and stuff. The guy's amazing. And she was so overwhelmed with the ranch. She says, Potato, when I was a child, I dreamed in India of riding horses, but I lost the dream because it was not possible. But here at your ranch, and she read my book. I've got a book on Amazon called Ride Like Potato. She read my book. She says, I want my dream back. And now I want to ride that Tevis. So her husband is Sushin. He made my video. He made that
Counting
video.
down.
Yeah, we're gonna end here any second.
They're gonna pull the plug on us, so.
Yeah, we'll catch that. We'll catch the rest of this story
But let's
later.
continue this conversation even tomorrow if you want. That was
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. Really
Oh, yeah,
awesome, 'cause-
I got a 10 o'clock meeting in town too. So
okay, yeah, we're up at our half hour, so that's cool. But that was great today. I really enjoyed it. And I'm gonna check out the information on the horses and your website.
it's amazing.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow,
Okay.
because this is gonna
Great,
end.
guys.